One of the more common, total fucking waste of time ways of performing an exercise that you'll see is the way that most people perform an Arnold Press. A lot of people know what the Arnold Press is. Everybody knows who it's named after, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Probably one of the most iconic figures in the history of the world. Iconic figures of all time. Definitely the most iconic figure to ever come from bodybuilding. And probably the only bodybuilder to have ever, and that will ever, transcend the sport. There'll never be another like Arnold. So anyways, he's got an exercise named after him. It's called an Arnold Press. It's actually a very effective shoulder builder. And the way you would perform it is with an underhand grip using a pair of dumbbells. And as you press above your head, you rotate to an overhand grip. You rotate to an underhand grip on the way down, overhand grip on the way up. It's a very effective shoulder builder. It's going to overload the front deltoid because it places that muscle in direct opposition of the resistance. And it also adds an internal rotational element to the movement, and the front deltoid is partially responsible for internally rotating the arm and switching to an overhand grip as you press. So it actually loads the muscle in a way that the muscle is designed to be loaded in the first place. But the way most people do this exercise is a total fucking waste of time. And what you'll see is they'll start with an underhand grip like they're supposed to. They'll rotate their arms out away from their body, and then they'll just do an overhead dumbbell press. Now, if that's what you want to do, then just do an overhead dumbbell press. Adding this rotational element is a total fucking waste of time. And here's why. Remember the two factors that you gotta look at to assess or evaluate an exercise? Direction of effort and direction of resistance. If these two factors or forces do not oppose each other, then you're not loading the muscles that are responsible for producing the effort in the first place. And if you're not loading the muscles that are responsible for producing the effort, then what the fuck are you doing? So when you're doing this, your direction of effort is what? To rotate your arm out away from the body and bring it back towards the midline of the body. Out and away, back towards the midline. Which way is the direction of resistance? Anytime you're holding a free weight on planet Earth, because of what we call gravity, the direction of resistance is always going to be going down. And if you're ever unsure of this, you just let go of the weight, get the fuck out of the way, and that will tell you what way the direction of resistance is. So when you're holding a dumbbell and you're doing this movement, the direction of resistance is going down and the direction of effort is going out away from the body and in towards the midline of the body. The muscles responsible for this effort are not being opposed by resistance at any point throughout the entire range of motion. Therefore, that's a total fucking waste of time. So anytime you're unsure and you can't quite put your finger on it as to whether or not something is useful or is not, you just always go back to the same two factors. Direction of effort, direction of resistance. Is the effort being opposed by the resistance, yes or no? If it is, that's useful. If it's not, total fucking waste of time. So the Arnold Press, when you're producing effort, you're pushing your arms over your head. The entire movement, resistance, is opposing that effort. That's a very effective movement. But when you add this element, this rotational element, and I don't know where it started, I don't know why it started, I feel that someone might have tried to compartmentalize the movement, and maybe when they were teaching it, they were saying you start with an underhand grip, and then when you press overhead, you want to have an overhand grip, so they just switched to an overhand grip and did the press. It's fucking retarded. It does absolutely nothing for you. Total fucking waste of time, and not necessary at all. So if you want to do an Arnold Press, underhand to overhand, as the direction of effort opposes the resistance, and if you want to do an overhead dumbbell press, just do an overhead dumbbell press. Sorry about the dogs. Gonna cut the video short real quick. You like the information, feel free to share. Click the fucking button at the bottom. Subscribe to the channel, and this motherfucker right here is gonna keep on bringing it.